introduce our players. Ladies and gentlemen, in the top left corner of the map from Team Extreme Supremacy, we're going to have our teal Terran player. It is going to be Beastyqt. In the bottom right corner of the map from Nuit Blanche, we're going to have our purple Terran. It's going to be Basior. Alright, so, good luck, have fun called here by Basior to start us off. TVT, first Terran versus Terran of the day. We've actually caught a lot of Terran matchups today, but this will be the first TVT that we see. And personally, my favourite matchup for the early game and the way the early game can play out, because there's just so many different openings, there's so much different, there's so much potential to open in different ways and to do different things and to try and, catch your opponents out and, all sorts of stuff. You really can get off to a fantastic, you really can do a lot in... Piss off. I'm trying to... Oh my god, this is annoying. There we go. I was trying to minimise everything I can to try and help out with the lag we seem to be experiencing. What we're saying is that TVT is one of these matchups where you can open in so many different ways, from like, gasless until 15, or just gas first. And even if both players open gas first, or even if both players open the same way, there's a lot of different transitions they can do into the mid game, or even in the early game. There's a lot of different ways they can follow up their very simple opening. There's a lot of different ways 1-1-1 openings work, lots of different kind of mine Hellion drop combinations, elevator plays, Viking opening into Banshee. So, there's so many different ways you can open. For now, both players open 12 racks, 12 gas, which suggests that it's going to be Reapers from both of them. And that means that they both have to be a little bit careful here, because if you get caught, if you lose your first Reaper and your opponent has one Reaper up on you, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble, because that's your early unit. You're generally going to build a reactor behind it. And with a reactor coming up behind it, oh my god, the lag is terrible. I wonder what's going on. With a reactor coming up behind it, it means you're not going to be able to produce any more units for a little while. So what we could sometimes see happening in kind of TVT is that we might see kind of 2 Reapers being made instead of 1 Reaper, which you generally see in other matches as well in TVP. Obviously you don't make, but sometimes, if you're not against another Reaper, if you're not against a Reaper opening, you'll just make 1 Reaper, because it's like TVP. Like, you're not gonna do much damage with 2 Reapers if you don't have, if it's just if your opponent just has other units on the map. It's more for scouting. But if you're both opening Reapers, then a second Reaper is actually gonna be very useful, as both players are gonna come in here, and it's actually gonna be Beastyqt who just edges that out there. He will kill the SCV, keep his own SCV safe, and Basior just gonna have to fall back in towards his main base. Basior just going to drop down this command center on the low ground and begin to expand, as is his opponent. I mean, no real surprises there. Both players expanding and continued Reaper production, so both of them saying right now, right, I just have to match my opponent with the Reapers, otherwise if I don't, I'm going to be in a little bit of trouble. And I mean, both players will probably want to sit fairly defensively as well, because if you're Beastyqt is actually going to move forward. If you sit defensively, though, you're going to get the first shot on your opponent's Reaper, and with the first shot, you can maybe grab that kill and then start to snowball things a little bit. Beastyqt pulls away soon enough, though, to keep that Reaper alive. And that's probably why he approached at the front here, so that he could, poke up. If the Reapers were there, pull away immediately. Instead of poking up here, you're going to take a shot when you jump up, a shot when you realise, and a shot when you jump down. You could then very easily, very quickly lose a Reaper. So a little bit safer to go up the front and see if the Reapers are there for your opponent, as both players will now go into reactor after the free Reaper opening, essentially. Factories on the way for both players again, exactly mirrored so far. So I was talking about how this matchup's so cool, because you can open in so many different ways, and even if you open in the same ways as your opponent, things can be a little bit different. Hold that forward, because we do have a little bit of an engagement here. It's going to come down to control, and it looks as though Beastyqt has the upper hand, and very quickly, 3 Reapers become 1 for Basior. He's going to have his natural command center delayed, so close to finishing, but not close enough, and now going to have to wait for Hellion to come out to be able to help him out here. These Reapers going to do some good damage, going to work their way through these SCVs. 1 SCV already being picked off. This Reaper as well from Basior, just going to try and come down here. This command center is still not finishing up. This Reaper has to be so careful. Hellion popping out though. This Hellion will be able to chase down these Reapers, and in fact there's 1 Reaper dead. Doesn't go for that SCV, even though I think he should die. I guess he can abuse the cliffs a little bit and might be able to just escape here. The Hellion will continue to give chase for as long as he can, and he will try and grab this Reaper before he gets up the cliff, and he gets it. So both players losing all of their Reapers there in the end. Basior definitely getting the worst end of that, because he ended up getting his command center delayed. He ended up losing a couple of workers as well. And, well, okay, he actually keeps one of his Reapers alive, which is, you know, actually at this point in the game, the Reaper's not going to mean all that much. A couple more Hellions on the way out for Basior, and now we're starting to see these guys deviate. The reactor is on this factory, and a starport on the way up for Basior, and a tech lab on the way on the barracks. Over here, reactors on the barracks. Hellions are being produced one at a time, and Cloak Banshees are on the way for Beastyqt. Now, at starport, yeah, we'll switch over towards this tech lab, and we'll be able to start producing even Raven or Banshee here in the next few moments. Gonna put that cloak up and get this going here. This Reaper pokes in towards the main base, and actually we'll be able to pick off an SCV, and if you can get another SCV, that'd be nice. Gets us around. Is he going to grab one more? Yes, he will. So 2 worker kills, not bad. As in the middle of the map as well, Basior is going to grab himself a Hellion, but this Banshee will help to push this back. Going into Banshees of his own, and seeing this Banshee so early, he might decide to just start up a Raven after his Banshee. Scan coming in from who? It is Beastyqt, and he scans and sees exactly what's going on for his opponent. So he knows where he's walking into. He realizes he probably doesn't have, you know, lots of scans or too much anti-air here, so he can't walk into that Cloak Banshee with those ground units. So he'll pull back with everything else, leave his Banshee in towards the main to do some damage. Basior has turrets in position though. At least he has 1 turret in position. The second turret will finish up in the in range of this Banshee now in the production line. And this is nice. So this is it's actually really nice, as this Banshee is actually taking a lot of damage from Beastyqt so far. And Basior is actually you know, getting into an okay spot. I mean, this Banshee is not going to be able to do too much more. 5 kills on it. I mean, for a Cloak Banshee, it's not loads. There's a couple more Marines going to come down here, try and help clean this up. And he will just get it with a scan. Has to waste a scan though, which is expensive, as another Banshee comes across the map. And this first Banshee for Basior heading across here now. Turrets are on the way up for Beastyqt. Doesn't have a scan available, so again, really is going to rely on the turrets. And actually, Basior going to turn away there, not confident enough to head in towards the main. Going to try and head in towards the natural instead. But there's also a turret in the natural, so probably won't find any direct damage here immediately. We'll find a little bit of a gap where you will be able to pick off a SCV or 2 if you would like. And that's what he's going to try and go for. Beastyqt pulls back though, and has to get away now from that turret before the Viking just kills this Banshee off. Already up in 3 kills though, and that's going to be a 4th now coming in. And they're going to be able to grab a 5th as well. No, actually just going to move away from the this position here. Going to wait for a scan. In fact, there isn't a scan available because we just told him before he was waiting for the mules, and or he just used the mules. And Beastyqt losing a lot there. He lost 5 or 6 Marines, which he really didn't need to lose. As this Banshee just going to, again, poke forwards. Tank going to take a little bit of damage, and again, Beastyqt being annoying at the same time. This Banshee of his own is getting cleaned down. He's about to lose this here, and he will lose it. This Banshee on this side of the map cleaned up by the Raven popping out of his opponent. Both players are going to go into bio, it seems, as barracks have been added on. Stim starts very similar timings. Beastyqt starts up that +1 upgrade a little bit sooner. Basior has a lot of minerals and a lot of gas to spend, so he too can go in towards his +1 upgrade here. And that is what he will do right now. So he starts up his +1, and we'll just wait to see what will be. I mean, there's actually a lot of Hellions for Basior, considering he's going to be playing bio. And it's very interesting, in fact, to see so many Hellions. I'm going to take the map control of this pretty easily. Beastyqt begins to retreat there with that 1 Hellion of his, which was holding the watchtower. And Basior going to claim that as his own. Beastyqt sending a Hellion out around the map, just scouting around, seeing what's up, and might just, no, he is just scouting around for hidden bases and stuff. I was going to say he might just leave this over here to kind of scout throughout the game, because Hellions aren't going to be too useful for him from this point on. I mean, they're not going to be too useful for either player. The only real way they're going to be useful is if for Basior he tries to get a bit of a run by going for himself. He has another second factory here nice and quickly, so really getting set up to play on this free base which he's building into right now. Third base already finished for Beastyqt. He holds a 5 worker lead. That's not really too much to do with the third base timing. I mean, it's not an orbital yet, so we've not really seen you know, SCVs being made from that. He's just in the early game here found himself at a bit of an SCV lead, so that's nice for Beastyqt. He's actually at 20 supply lead in general. He's actually up a lot of army supply, so that's pretty nice. He killed 12 workers against the 9 of his opponent. It's actually very even units lost though. It's actually a little bit better for Basior. It's just like just hasn't quite had as much money as his opponent. Doesn't get anything more done with this Banshee. Just forces a scan, and that will be it for the Banshees for now. And these Hellions are interesting because I'm not sure how much they're really going to add into this army. I think more than anything what they're going to want to look to do is probably come around this right hand side of the map and run by into this third base. But Planetary Fort was coming up for Beastyqt here, and this is something you always see the Terran players going for third base as planetary. In fact, you almost never see it in TVZ or CVP. The real problem just is that you know, the real problem is, so the real idea of this in TVT is that because doom drops are such a factor, the planetary fortress almost means you don't really have to worry about defending the third base, and so you can focus a lot more on defense in your main and in your natural, and so on. So it's actually kind of, obviously you lose the potential to make that into an orbital, you lose a little bit of economy, but it's still okay here. As we're actually going to see a stim up from Beastyqt. He's going to come up, he's going to break this first siege tank. Medevacs are here. Where are the units for Basior? Oh, he's kind of out of position with his siege tanks. And his next siege tank will come down the ramp here. A couple of SCVs might have to be pulled into this. Beastyqt, though, he's opened up a 30 supply lead. His third CC is under fire. And now Basior can't get the rest of his tanks down the ramp. He's got so many siege tanks, but none of them were in position. And because of this, Beastyqt's gained his position on the natural. He's going to kill off the third CC. And Basior is in a lot of trouble here. The last couple of Marines get killed off this CC. They get killed by the Vikings, though. And from this position, Beastyqt is just going to sit back, relax. A few Marines dropping over to this side of the map, though. So Beastyqt has to deal with some kind of counter-aggression. He's got to deal with this in some way, but there's his reinforcements, and this is the thing, you can't do anything towards the third base because it's a planetary fortress, and you just rally your reinforcements to the main so they can respond very quickly to aggression in your main or natural, and that's exactly what we're seeing here as Basior might try and break out with these siege tanks. He's going to siege up, he's going to go for it, he's going to kill off a few of these Vikings the Raven as well. These siege tanks may very well die off for Beastyqt, but he's done so much damage already, and he'll just continue to clean up a few more Marines here, or not if they get close enough like they just did then. He's going to try and grab that tank, but doesn't quite. Basior kills off a lot there, but again, he took a lot of damage of his own, and Beastyqt is already in the middle of the map with his next army. So he's already got the map control going for him. A random SCV added in here as well. He's actually just going to load up and head towards the main base, so this is going to be a little bit scary now for Basior, because this doom drop going to head towards the main, and what does he do then once this production is camped? He only has one real option, which is to attack across the map, but Beastyqt has, units already rallying out at home once again, and here we go, big drop in towards the main base. The Marines will stem, the tanks will siege, and Basior's not even going to try and contest it. GG is called. Beastyqt takes game number 1 in this best of 3. Alright guys, so I had the chat minimized all game long there. It was killing me. It was killing me. Why is my internet so shit? Should I reset the stream? Like, how annoying is it for you guys? Is it really bad? Like, is the lag really affecting your enjoyment of the game? Because if it is, I'll reset the stream and come back. I'd just really rather not, especially with 3-minute delay. It's going to take forever to get back online. Not reset the stream, but reset my internet. I'd really rather not, but if it's really bad for you guys, I will. But if you guys think it's okay, then I'd rather just keep it as it is. It's very annoying though. It is frustrating me, guys. I'm sorry that I bring it up so much, but it is kind of obvious that it's happening. So no, but best not to ignore it. We're gonna jump into another game here in a few moments' time. We're already loaded on. Well, not loaded on, but we're in the lobby for Terraform. So we're going to be going into this as game number 2, map 2 of this best of 3. Just waiting to for Beastyqt to be ready here so we can jump into this game. Quick refresh of the bracket. Let's update you guys on any recent scores. Showtime finally takes down Kugra, and we'll move into the round of 32 to play against Eliphas. So that's going to be going down. Strunton takes down Friend, so he moves into the round of 32 as well. Strunton having a good run here today. As what else is going on? Target Namshar is still taking place. Winner plays Insane. Petit Drogo will take on Mini Razor. In the same bit of the bracket, Beastyqt will take on Wellmute if he can take game number 2, which is coming up right now. Euthermal still waiting for Bly or Majestic, as Majestic makes his way through Botvinnik, and Starbuck still waiting for Misu or Exy. Happy still waiting for either Funk or DNS, sort of too with Snovsky, and we'll wait for either Fear or Snifko. So getting towards the latter stages of the qualifier. We've only been live for 3 hours and 45 minutes. It's not actually been that long. Like, I still guess we've got a few best of 3s to go, and as we get in towards the stronger players, we'll have kind of we'll have longer games. Because we probably see games going to game 3. The game's been a little bit more competitive throughout. Alright guys, just waiting to get Beastyqt ready, and we'll jump into Terraform. Basior has to win 2 in a row to keep his WCS hopes alive here in this first qualifier. You think the bracket just spoiled you? What, in this game? I don't think so. Spoiled you of what? What could it spoil you of? It doesn't look like it's updated. I mean, why would it update? We only just ended game 1. Basior is Red River Soft C. So Basior? 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 I'm not very good at names, guys. I'm sorry. Forgive me. The stream's good? The stream's fine? Really? So you like don't see the lag in the game? Really? In-game lag. It's okay. Well, at least it's okay. That makes me feel a little bit better. I mean, again, I appreciate it's probably not ideal. Whoa, whoa! It's a Terran! I appreciate it may not be ideal, because there is a little bit of in-game lag. But if it's not affecting you guys, then we're fine. We'll just continue on. So let's introduce our players in the southeast corner of the map. I wonder if it's it can't just be. I wonder if it isn't. If you don't see it on the stream, because I'm, importing StarCraft 2 directly. In fact, let me try this very quickly, guys. Don't worry. Don't panic. The game will return. Let me try this. And see if that I don't think it makes any difference. Anyways, so if you guys aren't bothered by it, then let's just continue on. In the bottom right corner of the map from Team Extreme Supremacy, up a game in this best of 3, looking to take the series on Terraform now. It is Beastyqt. Gas first this time around, so a big difference in his build order. And in the upper left corner of the map from Nuit Blanche, it is Basior, the Green Terran player. Is that right, Basior? That's how I understood it when you said a soft SI. Or is it like Basior? I don't know. Basior. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I suck. What are you guys doing? Why are we vote banning people? Oh, you guys. You guys are funny. Let's introduce... we introduced our players because we had a big discussion about this guy's name. Let's talk about the game and talk about the openings a little bit here. So it's a Reaper once again from Basior, and we'll probably see him not go up to 3 Reapers this time around. Although there's a Reaper for Beastyqt, so it's a different Reaper though. I mean, it's a gas first Reaper, which means his factory will drop down very quickly behind this. And so he probably wants to open kind of a bit of Reaper Hellion opening. Get about 3 Hellions, 2 Reapers. You can put on a little bit of pressure. You already queues up this second Reaper, so both players open with Reaper once again, and Basior is once more going to be opening with a second Reaper right now. And well, Basior going to be coming across the map, and he will have his first Reaper popping up here, but Beastyqt is sitting defensively right now. He's about to intercept this. And Basior has to be so careful. And there we go, Beastyqt will start getting the damage done. And he will push his opponent's Reaper away. Some good shots off, but of course he will slow down enough so that this Reaper can escape. Basior can keep that alive, but has to keep moving backwards. Can't afford to turn around and fight this at all. Unless he intercepts with his second Reaper. And there are a lot of bushes on the map. There's a lot of kind of hidden space. So Beastyqt has to be a little bit careful here. In fact, I think, look at this. Basior is going to get to this Reaper. He's going to kill it. He's close enough. And there was a beautiful play with that bush. Wow. That's probably one of the best predictions I ever made. This Marine going to be able to jump in towards the bunker. And the bunker's actually quite important in this sort of opening. Even though he's killed a Reaper, I mean, with these Reapers and Hellions, they're going to advance towards the front. They're going to try and put on a little bit of pressure. So if you're not going to have Hellions as fast of your own, which they are going to be pretty slow here from Basior in comparison. Having that bunker is quite essential. He's going to be able to defend his command center nice and easily now. And another Hellion on the way for Beastyqt, going into Banshee and Cloak as well behind this too. As Beastyqt still just sits defensively here himself. So there's really going to be this Banshee moving across the map, which will be the first kind of unit to try and get some damage done. Engineering Bay is being put down though for Basior, and I'm going to look to try and just get ready to set up those turrets for a later part of this game. These 3 Hellions and the Reaper just stand outside of the natural right now. And still not really too much happening. Basior actually going to have the bravery to move across the map with his couple of Reapers and Hellions, but he has to be careful too, because 3 Hellions and a Reaper should ruin that fight. Depends on the engagement, of course. And coming forwards here, ooh, well, Basior actually looked to get the better fight initially, because he got the first hit, but then he kind of got lined up, and this Banshee will come in to help out in terms of pushing this back as well. Turrets finishing up in the mineral lines, or in the natural mineral line. The main base mineral line just starting. The production line is covered as well by a turret. And again, this bunker now going to be very useful, as this Banshee will fly in towards the turret and a Viking, and just turn away fast enough to avoid the turret shot. The Viking shot will still go off on it. His Hellion is going to come around the back of the mineral line, and once again, Basior has his Hellions all lined up. He's just going to try and trade against this, and he actually does a pretty good job of it. He was lined up initially, but split them up, and it was all good and set to go. So, cool. Banshee comes back in towards that didn't really make sense. All good, set to go. I guess kind of. He was all good and set to go to defend. But okay, this Banshee comes in towards the main base mineral line right now, and does a little bit of damage. One single worker kill, nothing too major. In fact, that might have been the I'm not sure if that was actually the Reaper which the Banshee got the kill on a little bit earlier. As this Banshee does run out of energy, and Basior has been doing a good job of keeping up with the Banshee until it uncloaked. So able to pick that off here. This Banshee, the second Banshee, does take a little bit of damage. Picked up 1 kill already. Going to be looking for a second. Needs to be so careful though, because this turret coverage is so good that these Vikings are going to be able to pop shots onto them, onto the Banshees, from pretty much anywhere. And this Banshee right now looks as though it's going to try and kind of give up. Doesn't get another kill just yet either. And I mean, again, just 2 kills. Not really that great for 2 cloaked Banshees at all. So there's a bad run of energy, and Vikings will claim the life of that Banshee. And Beastyqt has not gotten off to a good start at all in this game. His natural command center only just finishing. That being said, Basior's not that far ahead in terms of his worker count. He's yeah, I mean he's only 3 workers ahead, which isn't much. Hiding the Hellions in the bushes there once again, and he'll be it. How to pronounce Basior? Basior. Basior. Basior? Basior? Basior. Basior. Is that it? S-C-O? I'm never gonna get it, guys. I'm sorry. I just suck. I just accept that now. Basior. Let's try Basior. It's so hard when there's 3-minute delay on stream to kind of ask you guys for advice on how to say something, right? This Reaper gonna get shot up a couple of times from these Hellions as he jumps into those main. Gets the scout he needs though. He's gonna be able to confirm that there are 2 factories up in this main base. The Hellions moving out here. I'm gonna be looking to head out onto the map, look to see what's going on, look to see what is happening. And I mean, at the same time, Basior now knows what is going on. He knows what's happening. So he's going to actually load up 4 Hellions of his own. I mean, he knows they're not going to be too useful out on the map. So he knows that's not going to be too useful. He's just going to drop them in towards the mineral line and try and get some damage done with them. I mean, with Bio, you're not really expecting to do much with your early game Hellions. A lot of Hellions, Ravens, and a couple of, Raven, 2 Vikings, 4 Vikings, and a tank coming across the map right now. And Basior with his own tank popping out. Should be okay against this. Stim's about to finish. Combat shields +1. Few marauders in the front. He should be alright, although it looks as though Beastyqt going to direct the aggression towards the main base of his opponent, which could be a little bit problematic. The siege tank going to siege, and these 2 turrets here, these 2 depots here are not in the best positions. These 4 Hellions drop down. Basior needs to run forwards with these, but Beastyqt is already walled off to kind of negate this effect. Negate this from doing too much. Vikings will land, but they're not very fast units. And now actually this wall's going to work on the other way, against Beastyqt, as these Hellions are going to start roasting away here at the same time though. These depots are going down over here, and you know, Basior is also taking damage, and our Hellions just continue to try and continue to clean up a lot of this. Beastyqt takes a lot of damage here then, and he's caught out on the map still. And does he really have enough to defend? No, not really. These two tanks get cleaned up. The Hellions back away, and now the Raven and Vikings heading towards the main base mineral line. But we'll just drop the turrets and could have landed the Vikings as well if you wanted to continue doing damage. Again, this is just a little bit of an annoyance to try and keep his opponent busy, keep his opponent guessing. These two tanks going to get killed off by the Hellions, which is actually really nice. And a couple of Hellions actually end up going the wrong way. I imagine that's happening a lot here on this map. You know, if you're kind of fighting here with your Hellions, then you click to go back home. Half of them going to run around the top side, and then two of them going to run around the bottom side, thinking that's the closer route. I imagine we're going to see that a lot on this map as the season goes on. But yeah, a couple of Vikings coming through the centre, and one of them actually going to get picked off here, which is a little bit slowly by Beastyqt, and this other Viking will survive for now. This Beastyqt does not have a boost. Boost away! Well, don't boost away and die. That's another way to approach life. 3rd going to start moving in position for Beastyqt, and I think Basior was originally building his 3rd there, but he had to cancel it because of where his opponent came in. But I don't think Beastyqt really has enough to really fight right now. There's a lot of Marauders coming in here. One tank already picked off, and he's got one tank of his own. There's one more tank left for Beastyqt. And a scan comes in, he sees just one tank, and that really isn't going to be enough to deal with this. These Vikings going to get targeted down, which is nice. Get rid of that air control of the meching player, and well, at least slow it down a lot. As now, Basior does take a lot of damage. You're going to have to start backing away from this. He's got a really nice position here with reinforcements coming across the map. Does Beastyqt have another tank coming out? Well, there's a second one. He's going to reposition this one too, so he can start to cover his 3rd base a little bit better. And just going to slowly work his way against this rock tower. Going to knock down these rocks, stop the advance of his opponent coming quite so quickly towards him, as the rocks will once again lie in wait in the bushes here, as we saw Reapers do earlier in this game. And Basior just going to start working his way through this, and Beastyqt will get scanned upon. You'll see what's going to see what army is here, which again isn't that much. And he's just gonna, he might just try and stim through this and just fight this. If he splits his units well enough, he probably can just take down these siege tanks. The Hellions already taking a lot of damage. No armor yet, so Hellbats can't be made. The tanks get targeted, and that will be GG. Guys, we're going to a game number 3. Players in the bottom right corner of the map. We're going to introduce our pink Terran player from Team Extreme Supremacy. Took game number 1 quite convincingly, but then actually, I mean, he didn't look that great at all in game number 2. Took a lot of damage from Hellions, and had to respond and didn't quite get into a good position from that. It's Beastyqt, our pink Terran, in the bottom right. His opponent, in the upper right side of the map, Iron Fortress, which is the map here, is a player who I just really cannot say the name of for the life of me. So I just don't care if I'm wrong anymore. In the upper right, from Nuit Blanche, it is going to be Basior. I guess that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm saying Baz instead of C. Basior. I just can't do it. I'm dreadful, aren't I? It should be such a simple name to pronounce. Reaper opening for both players here once again. So back to what they were doing in game number 1. Well, that being said, it's what Basior was doing in every single game until now. He's opened Reapers every single game, so both players scouting as well, and they actually have a bit of an SCV kiss on the left side of the map, but not really anything too important. They're going to find out that their opponents are not in these cross spawns, and so they'll know that they are vertical to each other, and that is where the Reapers will begin heading. Reaper coming across the map already here for Basior, and going to look to see what he might be able to achieve. Going forward, see this Reaper. Are they going to intercept? Wow, they're going to run straight past each other. Basior sees it though. And this is kind of nice for him, because what he's going to do is he's going to chase his opponent away with this Reaper, with the second Reaper, and then he's going to, you know, kind of corner it, or kind of wedge it in with this Reaper and try and secure that kill. Beastyqt going to pop up in his opponent's main base here. We'll see that command center coming down on the high ground. And these two Reapers are going to start coming in here. Beastyqt, can he get away? I don't think he can. Again, he's kind of cornered in the base. So this is a little bit unfortunate. He did make the second Reaper of his own. He immediately starts going into production of Marines here instead, realizing that another Reaper isn't going to help him any more than that first one did. And that second one already going to have to head back home as well, because again, it's outnumbered here. So has to get away. These two Reapers coming in, of course. Building a CC on the low ground is going to end up being a little bit detrimental for Beastyqt, as he can't quite, Basior can't quite make it up to the high ground, and we'll just get slowly pushed away. Yeah, well, that Reaper's getting very low. If you can turn around and get that Reaper, that'd be nice. Beastyqt continues to build his CC here, though. But I think early game has gone the way of our Polish Terran player, and he seems to be at a slight advantage, very, very slight advantage. Both players going into the starport once again here. Reactor on the way up from this barracks. Reactor already down for our green Terran, and he's now going to drop that tech lab as well to probably put the starport onto and to start going into Banshees. We've seen this pretty much every game from these guys. Very similar openings, but very different follow-ups each time around. And yeah, this Reaper coming up the right-hand side of the map. And Beastyqt just going to look to see what he might be able to achieve with this as he begins to head in towards this main base, and just going to look to scout more than anything. Of course, what a scout it is, sees well, he sees exactly what's going on here. It's a little bit of an odd engagement by Beastyqt to try and fight against this, but it looks as though he just about had what he needed to be able to turn this away. He had a good fight against the Hellions of his opponent. Now one damage challenge, he gets pulled back, and really nice play by Basior. Look at that. Reaper's getting away with very low hit points. He'll just be able to come back, and again, this has been free damage for him. This Reaper hasn't picked up any kills, a couple. So actually that's kind of nice for Beastyqt, and he will take a couple worker lead because of this. As this couple of Hellions will move down the ramp and join with the rest of them. As he's going to just repair up here, and are we going to see mech out of Basior this time around? I mean, he's adding on a couple more Hellions. He really is committing in towards these Hellions right now, building up turrets to deal with his opponent's incoming cloaked Banshees, which is starting to come across the map. He's got his own Banshee heading across the map too, both players following up with a Viking. The difference is, okay, Beastyqt actually already has his turrets in place, so no real differences at all. These guys really are mirroring each other up until this point right now. There's that stim storm from Basior, so getting into that bio upgrades, and this Banshee pops out. No cloak on it just yet. We'll finally cloak up now, but as he purchased the natural, he'll find one SCV that will get turned away. He has to be so careful again of running in range of these turrets, because he will continue to take damage from the Vikings. If he is in range of those turrets, Basior has to deal with his own Banshee on his opponent's side of the map at the same time. He's still in range of a turret there. He'll finally move far enough away to work away on this reactor. But at the same time, I mean, the problem is that a single scan is going to take down this Banshee very quickly. And scans are going to be coming in very shortly. I think this one's closest, 2 seconds away, and it will be able to just about save that reactor going down there. Scan from Basior takes down the Banshee, and both Banshees lost. I think Basior, though, taking down a reactor just slow Beastyqt down a little bit. Both players with the bio follow-up here. Beastyqt no stim yet, but goes into his +1. And it's actually going to be quite a late stim for Beastyqt. But later tanks for Basior. And a lot of Hellions out on the map for him right now. Not achieving anything with them just yet. But definitely potential to run by, hit a base, and really hurt the economy of his opponent once again here. Another Banshee on the way across the map for our green Terran, who is also making a third. So really committing to this right now. And again, just constantly trying to find ways to do damage, but runs in towards a Raven, and that is less than ideal. That Banshee really not doing too much. And did he cancel the third Banshee? He did indeed, which is a good decision. I don't think he's really going to get much more done with that, so I like that. Coming through the map with these Hellions right now, looking to see what he might be able to get done, but a couple of early tanks from Beastyqt again. Okay, he won't have stim for a while, longer than his opponent, but he will have these siege tanks. And siege tanks are pretty good at just keeping you safe on these two bases, so just going to turn his opponent away. I'm just going to wait to see the third CC is going to come down for either of these players anytime soon. Neither of them coming into it just yet. Do you have more barracks up for? Yeah, Basior is going to have 5 racks up, and he's going to continue adding on the Marines here. And so his production is really going to kick in a little bit sooner than Beastyqt's is. His 4th and 5th racks only being added on now. Basior has established a lead in pretty much every way in terms of the upgrades, in terms of the extra production, maybe not +1. The only thing he isn't in the lead in is the workers, and he's actually a little bit behind in that. And that's simply because Beastyqt killed a couple more throughout the earlier stages of this game. Basior just going to sit towards this third base right now. Reaper actually going to find an SCV moving out onto the map. This would have been here potentially deadly if all of these Hellions run through it, especially with so many of them on low hit points. But he's going to find out about it right now. And that poor Hellion got sent to its death. Third command set does start then for Basior on the north side of the map. Iron Fortress here, of course, is our map, which means the third base is going to be a little bit far away, but fairly simple to defend. I mean, drop plays are going to be the real issue to kind of deal with here, for either player. As the game continues, it's going to be very difficult to defend over towards a third, or I guess you don't really want to take this third because it's too easy for an opponent to siege tanks here and siege it up. So there's going to be quite a distance between the third and the main, and so you're really going to have to be on top of where those drops could be coming in from. This Viking's going to come forwards here, and he's going to lose a Raven and a Viking. And, oh no, poor Viking. Poor Viking of Basior decides to chill out above the tank, which has been targeted by a Hunter Seeker missile, just a Seeker missile. A little bit unfortunate there. Again, so many Hellions in the early game, and switching into Bio, I just don't know what they're going to achieve when this army comes across the map. These Hellions, I mean, the army supplies are even, but that generally means that with Hellions in this, surely it's not going to be that great for Basior. He comes forwards now, he sees them tank siege, and I guess he could maybe, if he would like to, use the Hellions to soak a couple of tank hits and keep the Marines alive a little longer. He does seem to have a lot more here right now, but that's because, oh no, that's actually two Vikings. I thought they were maybe medevacs. Basior is going to move out of position here, and this is a little bit bad for him. Now he sees where his opponent is, though. His opponent is moving into a pretty nice position. We'll just siege up here, and Basior going to return the favour. Does he have enough to fight into 4 siege tanks? I think he might have enough of an advantage just about. It's going to be tough, though, not if he clumps up like that, though. He needs to kind of be very careful about this. Does have a lot of medevacs in the sky, though, to heal up the damage. Beastyqt just going to lift, though, and he's just going to... Where's he going to go? Look around and towards the natural, perhaps. Definitely a possibility, and again, drops. Always something you got to be very afraid of in this TVT matchup. Both players moving their third command centers in towards their positions. In this little bit of an army. I'm going to just sit over to the left hand side here for now. Still 2 Vikings patrolling the right side just in case drops come in towards the natural of Beastyqt. And apart from that, Basior just moving out. And just again staying a little bit active on the map here and there. Beastyqt trying to regain some map control and spreading the Marines about. His map control is actually quite nice with a couple of mines split around. He's actually all the way up this right hand alleyway. And this might turn into a little bit of a base trade very soon, because right now we have Beastyqt positioned to go and drop in towards the main, and I definitely think that's what he's probably going to do. He loads up absolutely everything here, but Basior has to realise that something is happening right now, and he's going to have his production shut down here very, very quickly. He's going to kill a third of his opponent, but that's kind of the least of his, production is more important than a third base, because if you don't have production, how are you going to build anything? Well, you just don't, and I think... Is he going to just lift his backs and just stim into this with everything and pull the SCVs as well? I think he might, but he's running forwards here before he's really ready to go. Here we go, going to try and engage. There's so many medevacs though, which is going to help out so much. The SCVs pulling forwards will maybe allow for a little bit of friendly fire. A single siege tank sieged up, but that's not going to be enough to really help out here, and that's going to get taken down. Basior's losing a lot, but he's swapping into his opponent's main base now as well to try and shut down his opponent's production. And it's going to be a very similar situation, only Beastyqt is going to be a little bit more patient about this. And these siege tanks are going to move forwards here. Oh my god, he's going to lose his siege tank so quickly. Is Basior, and that's not good for him at all. Again though, does he just have a few too many medevacs here? It's kind of hard to say. Basior has so much money in the bank, but he just can't spend it. It looks as though he's just going to have enough to kill off one more siege tank and now tank this production to some extent. If he can just land some barracks and get some more Marines out, he might sort of be okay here. He's losing his main base orbital. He needs to land this other orbital. He needs to land this command center and build another orbital, really. Is he going to come up here? I mean... He's got so much supply available to him that it's not really, he's not in any major rush to, he's not in a major rush right now to rush into a fight. If he can just build a few more Marines, anything's going to help him at this point in time. A few Marines here are going to try and take that engagement. Not going to be easy though, as SCVs get pulled into this as well. Basior is taking a lot of damage, but Beastyqt doesn't have that much left over of his own either. And Basior cancels just before he's about to land a bunch of I can't speak. He needs to get this third CC away. He needs to get this away, making an orbital or something. He's going to lose all of his modules though. He just doesn't have the DPS he needs in the main of his opponent to really do the same sort of damage. Beastyqt is already floating these orbitals away. He's just dealing with this a little bit better than his opponent is. He's flying buildings away. All Basior's flying away. is, well, he's making siege tanks in the center of the map. He can flank these barracks as well and just start making marines. He's got the money, realistically, if he wants to actually start rebuilding. But Beastyqt is going to have the mules and the few SCVs to realistically start rebuilding as well, because he's also saving his production. These barracks really need to land. Basior has not rebuilt his base, and so he is being revealed. And he needs to be so careful here. How many marines are there? He's going to take out a couple of these Vikings, which is nice. But Beastyqt just sits with 2 tanks on this high ground. Mines away. Basior, is he starting a command center? I must be, right? Or is he just building pure marines? He's building depots. Oh no, he's supply blocked. But you need a command center so much, man. Like, because I guess he thinks he has to try and fight into this to win the game. I think the better option would genuinely be to just, because he sees his opponent mine, I think he needs a command center. But if he lets these depots finish, he's never going to have one. And so he's made his decision. He's just going to try his best, try and build as much as he can. There's a tank and a Widow Mine left over here for Beastyqt. No scans available, so Widow Mine could do a lot. Blow the mine, put the tank on top of it. And I mean, even just killing off a couple of marines could be very, very effective right now. Basior just didn't really deal with this base trade well at all. You know, he really had this issue where he just didn't move his orbitals away soon enough. He didn't save a command center, and if he did, I mean, he'd probably be able to land it and to protect it. You know, he could have got it away over this area, and I don't think Beastyqt would have been too quick to chase. This tank did get killed off down here. The mine did pick up a couple of kills. This should be Beastyqt's game at this point in time. Again, Basior's going to really struggle to do anything with this at this point. Just lifting up everything into these medevacs. I mean, you just can't fight against this. Basically, he's building up. He's building a Banshee, which of course already has Cloak. His opponent has no scans, so this is a Banshee which can never be killed. And of course, Beastyqt with mining is going to be able to just build a Viking as well. And with a Viking, there's not even going to be a draw in the game available for Basior. And moving across here, these few medevacs are going to look to see what they can do. This Banshee. The tank gets picked up to try and save the day, but turrets, man. He's not getting in here. There's absolutely no way. Beastyqt even has a natural now mining, essentially, as this main base did mine out. And this is going to be a game. His medevacs get Qualifiers them into the army, and he GG's out of